Taurus, I decided to go ahead and do another February reading for you because I noticed that the last reading was very general. The energy just seemed, and it could have been that full moon energy coming that made it really hard for me to be able to grasp what it was that Spirit wanted me to relay to you, Taurus, as a collective. And I want to give you guys that reading because I know that's what you guys were waiting for. Okay, so I'm going to call this your love reading because this is going to be specifically about love. Okay, Spirit guides and angels and the divine, I ask that you show us what the collective in Taurus needs to see in their love lives. What are the majority of them dealing with? What are the majority of them learning right now? What are the majority of them thinking about right now? What's going on with Taurus? Spirit guides and angels, please let's talk about Taurus and where they are right now in their love relationships. And let's give them some answers that they are seeking. Thank you so very much, Spirit guides and angels. Divine, most importantly, thank you for hearing my prayer. It is so. All right. I don't think we need to shuffle anymore, Taurus. This is a love reading, okay? The other one, I was open to whatever it was that Spirit wanted to talk about, but this is specifically a love reading, okay? All right, Taurus. So, for the remainder of February, which is just a few days, it's very important that you rely on your strength. You need to understand that you are stronger than you think. When we hear that, you know what? Sometimes it's really annoying because sometimes we don't feel strong at all, depending on what it is that we're going through. But you are infinitely strong. Are you not seeing that infinity symbol on top of her head? Anybody who can tame a lion. Okay, you're being told that you could tame a lion for the remainder of February. Now let's see what we're talking about specifically. Spirit, please let us know specifically what it is that Taurus needs to tame. Okay, the first card is the Six of Cups, Ten of Swords, Six of Swords, Ace of Cups, Four of Cups, Temperance, Justice, King of Cups, Knight of Pentacles, the Emperor. Okay, so if you're dealing with the Libra, I recommend you go watch that reading because I'm telling you the name of that one is they could sell sheep shit to a shepherd. Okay, this is what I think a lot of you guys wanted to talk about in your Taurus readings. Here's this Ace of Cups, but then clearly we see this person from the past that you've already left this person because you know that this person was not fair in the relationship. They were methodical, okay? There's no need to be methodical in love relationships. If you're not playing poker, there's no need to be methodical. The only thing you need to be doing in a love relationship is filling that cup up for each other to make sure that you can both drink out of it. And of course, this is not a real cup. It is a cup that we go ahead and we put our emotions in, we put our feelings in, we put everything in it so that our other partner is never left in drought. In every relationship, you're going to have moments where you're going to be busted and dusted and can't be trusted, you know? And it's the love that your other partner has for you. And it doesn't even matter how busted your bank account is looking, how busted your hair is looking, or whatever. They love you for you no matter what. But unfortunately, you came across somebody that was very methodical. That is what this Knight of Pentacles represents. The Spirit is letting you know if you use your strength to go ahead and drop the baggage associated with this person for hurting you and not loving you back the way that you love them, because what they did was they betrayed you rather than be fair to you. That's why the first card is the card that talks about little white lies and them being a part of your past. And you now having to work on your feelings and your emotions after this person did all of this betraying ass bullshit. Because right now a lot of you are dealing with some depression because of the unfairness that you dealt with in the relationship. Many of you are looking for a mature candidate, someone who played a really good role at being a loving individual. However, I want to let you know this person, based on the cards that I'm seeing right now, they don't know a damn thing about love. They know everything about, trying to show you that they can offer a little bit of stability. But I want you to think about this. What is $1,000 to a millionaire? That's not a sacrifice, is it? If somebody spends 10 minutes with you and they only have 20 minutes to spend, that's a sacrifice. Do you understand what I'm saying? So where I'm going with this is this. What they were giving to you in the relationship, what they gave to you, it wasn't a sacrifice. They wanted you to think it was a sacrifice based on what they told you they had to give you in the relationship. And because you believed them and you poured your heart and soul into this relationship, and this person did not acknowledge the perfection that was given to them. And I'm telling you, that's why a lot of these relationships are ending. Because Spirit gave a lot of people perfection. Straight up. Gave them people that love them no matter freaking what. And then the other party's over here complaining about some dumb shit like a pair of shoes. Like that's what I'm telling you. That's why Spirit said, okay, if you're not grateful for the perfection that I gave you love. Someone that's going to love you no matter what. That's what I gave you. And do you know how many people are ungrateful for that shit? They want to know what they can get out of it rather than what they can give to it. And what did it turn you into? It turned you into the emperor. That's what it did. Yes, that's exactly what it did. So go ahead and put a smile on your face and put that depression away, because that depression belongs to the person who brought it to the table, which is the person that you walked away from because you know that they are a backstabber and you just want to get away from them. You're in the process of doing that, but this person wants to sit and act like they're the most loving thing that has ever walked the earth. And they have a long way to go before they even understand what the concept of love is. You are likely dealing with a water sign, okay? An Aquarius or a Pisces. You're likely dealing with a Pisces, Scorpio, or a Cancer, okay? And I don't really like to do readings where they all kind of coincide. You understand what I'm saying? So it's not like you're going to go to the Cancer reading or the Scorpio reading. You might. I don't know what Spirit wants to do. I just have to do Scorpio's reading, and then I will be done with all of the January readings, and then I'll be into your March readings. But I want to let you guys know this is the month that you guys need to finish strong. And this goes for every zodiac, because for some reason Spirit pulls me in the direction to talk to people who are ending relationships. Because when I first really started to become acknowledged for what it is that I do in tarot, it was because I was having a really hard time. And I was like the star of the show when you guys were watching me lose my mind, ending my 14-year relationship. This person was not fair at all. This person that I ended a relationship with, I'll be honest with you, I love this person. I love this person. I love him. And I do believe that he thinks that he loves me. But see, here's the problem. You can't love me and put your mama first. That's not love. You can't love me and go buy a new truck when you know that the bills in the house are due. That's not love. So you have to understand that people don't know how to love like you do. Now, Spirit gave this person an opportunity to learn. This person didn't want to learn. This person wanted to be Mr. or Mrs. Methodical. And Mr. or Mrs. Liar. Mr. or Mrs. Stab you in your back. Mr. or Mrs. Talk about you to whomever will listen. Mr. or Mrs. I want to put you in a state of depression so that I can go ahead and I could be the man, even though you're the man, male or female, and I could make you feel like this Four of Cups individual. No. They were the Four of Cups individual when they got into the relationship with you. You were always the emperor. Spirit is just giving you enough time for you to recognize who you have become out of being in this relationship. You can't get stabbed in the back 10 times and then pull those swords out, get back up and be ready to love again without being the emperor, baby. That means you know how to let the baggage go. That means you know how to say, all right, I'm moving away from that and I'm moving in a different direction. And that direction is going to be a whole lot better than where I came from. Do you know how many people won't get into a relationship again once they've been backstabbed this badly? But see, I'm not getting that vibe from you, Taurus. I'm getting the vibe from you, Taurus, where you're looking for what you deserve. You put a lot of work into this relationship. Had you not put this much work into this relationship, it wouldn't have hurt you so bad that it didn't work out. Let's keep going. I feel like a lot of you are starting to realize what your position in the world is, and this is your perfect match, too. So we have this Queen of Cups, this King of Cups. One of you has been bumped up to the Emperor, which means the other will be bumped up to the Empress. And that could mean that if you are a female and you were bumped up to the Emperor, that means that you became a lot more familiar with your masculine side, okay? You likely said, I don't give a shit how submissive I'm supposed to be in this particular case. I don't give a shit, what the rules say as to how a woman is supposed to behave in this situation. I'm going to go ahead and tap into my masculine side and get the hell out of Dodge because this person is over here playing poker in a love relationship. And you're going to get with someone who likely dealt with something similar that you dealt with, and they tapped into their feminine side. It does not mean that they're going to be metrosexual. It just means that they are going to be able to recognize emotions and how important they are in a relationship and why it's so important to acknowledge them. Okay, you'd be surprised at how many people do not know how to acknowledge other people's emotions, especially in relationships. It blows my mind every time I hear these stories, but I hear them far more than I don't. There was no fairness in this relationship. This person never came with the intention of bringing any fairness. Either you or this other person had too many options, okay? And they were spreading their love around. Or this is Spirit letting you know that you're the one that's going to have a whole lot of options, and Spirit is reminding you to pick the noble option because all of these options are not going to be good options. Make sure that you are able to recognize the perfection that Spirit gives you, which is the option with the wreath on the head. Notice this one also has a wreath on the head and on their wand. Because what they do is noble. This is a noble individual that you're going to be getting in a relationship with next. It's not going to matter how many women or how many men are constantly up their ass trying to take your man or woman from you. There's no catalyst that will be more beautiful to this person than you. You're not going to have to worry about that type of thing in your next relationship. And I'm not blowing smoke up your ass. I listen to what Spirit tells me to say when I speak. I'm telling you, you're going to be the belle of the ball, even at the grocery store. Why? Because you looked at yourself on the inside and you realized that you gave everything that you could give in this relationship. It was the other party that did not. You know who you are, and you're getting to a place now where you're recognizing what this relationship turned you into. It turned you into a very strong individual. To be in a relationship with someone who used you, who was not fair to you, and who sat there and lied like they were just, the most loving person on the planet and did not know what love was at all and was just mad methodical and had you feeling left out in the cold and did not give you what was fair to be had in a relationship. I'm telling you, that makes you a hell of a motherfucker. It does. A lot of people would love to walk away from love, period, and never revisit it again. At least they won't take it seriously after being hurt to that magnitude. But you are being acknowledged for knowing how to love, even dealing with somebody of that caliber that you left behind. Okay? Because you know who you are in the world. You know who you are, and you know what you want to do in it. And you know that you're perfectly capable of doing whatever it is that you want to do, even though you probably sat and listened to this person that you were with tell you everything that you weren't rather than what you are. Which is amazing, by the way, Taurus. Anybody who tells you anything different certainly isn't being as nurturing to you as you are to them. You nurtured this person. You nurtured this person. That's another reason why your heart is broken. So now you feel like you want to defend yourself against this person at all costs. I would too. And that is the fair thing to do. Stay away from this person at all costs, because this person takes you off kilter. Even just talking about this person leaves a bit of a sick stomach and a bad taste in your mouth. So then don't talk about this person. They're not worthy of the conversation. Do you understand what I'm saying? So when you get into this new relationship with this new person, don't even mention this person. Talk about the person you were with before this person. Don't even mention this person, because this person loves it when you're off kilter. They don't want you to be happy. This is a happy card. They don't want you to be happy, but you're about to be, because they're not happy. Unfortunately, the burden is going to be on the person who presented the burden to the relationship. That's them. They did not know what they were given when God gave you them. Taurus, that's what's up, and that is why Spirit went ahead and bumped you up to the Emperor. You have to fight to be the Emperor. That's why when you see the Emperor has gear underneath his kingly robe. He was a knight and fought many battles, and if you see that white beard, he has knowledge and wisdom. That is why he is the king. And this goes for women and men. No matter how hurtful, no matter how bad, he got back up on that battlefield with his sword and kept fighting until he got himself where he is now, which is right there on that throne. That is exactly where you are now, and you should be happy about it, because it was not easy for you to get there. It felt like pushing a boulder up a mountain, staying in this relationship as long as you were able to do it. You may have been dealing with the Virgo as well. Okay. Let's see what else. You're going to have several offers of things of value, and it's not just relationship wise. I feel like for those of you who are taking for a ride financially, you will be given new jobs, promotions, things of that nature, so that you can build your money and finances back up. That's why I feel like that card popped up. You know who to cut off now, and that was part of what you needed to learn in this relationship. You needed to learn, Taurus, how to set boundaries with people who were being unfair in the relationship, okay? It's one thing when the other party is, in a tight squeeze or not financially in a good place for a little while. That happens to all of us, and that's what relationships are about. We're there to lean on each other. But see, this person always wanted to lean on you, okay? And one of your lessons in this relationship is to know when to cut a partner off, okay? Because that person is using you. This person is pretending to be transparent with you, but was not being transparent with you at all. They were being transparent enough to know what your Achilles heel was. They knew how to act like this knight in shining armor. However, what they did was, I'll show you what they did. When it comes to love, right, they have about the capacity of a teenager. Well, what makes you think that the Emperor would find a teenager attractive? At least romantically. They have nothing in common, nothing to talk about, nothing at all. Right? Right. This person thinks like a teenager, and they're very methodical, and they're just, they think they are Mr. or Mrs. Suave, but they gonna learn. They gonna learn today. They gonna learn today. That little Rico Suave shit. Judgment Day is here. Yep, that means that something has to end in order for something to begin. That's what judgment means. So guess what that means? If they don't stop with their fuck shit, which they're not going to be able to do that right away, they're going to get into a relationship with someone who's going to show them how to do it even better. And when I say do it even better, I mean, okay, oh, you like lies and deception? Oh, I've been doing that forever. That's who Spirit is going to hand them to, so that they can go ahead and acknowledge how many people they have hurt in the past. It's unfortunate, but that is the way, the natural way of things. I feel like you're coming out of a state of sadness, but you're also at the ending of this phase, okay? Change is around the corner. You knew you needed to cut this person off. You did the damn sure right thing. This person is not transparent, but they know they had to show a certain level of transparency in order for you to trust them. But you did the right thing, which is turn your back on them. You took that desert walk with very little water, so that you could get to the other side of those mountains, baby, because you know that's where paradise is. And guess what? Now you get to create what you want to create. Just be patient, Taurus. Look at what you're gonna be having. Look at what you're gonna be having. That perfect mate. That perfect suitor. You earned it. You fucking earned it. And I'm gonna put it just like that. You fucking earned it. I'm telling you right now. I know that this 10 of Wands is representative of the fact that you earned this position. You earned this next suitor that you're going to get with. This next suitor is going to be just as mature as you. You guys are going to mess around and have a baby together. Straight up. And closing you out, my loves. The Tower. Yes, you did experience the Tower when you realized that the cosmos chose to get you away from this person because you didn't understand in the beginning why this person was not good for you. Because like I said, this person showed you just enough transparency to get all of your transparency so that they can go ahead and capitalize on your financial gain. Because like I said before, Tauruses are notorious. I mean, you guys run the second house, which talks about making your own money. Whether you're single or in a relationship, you're always going to know how to get your hustle on somehow, some way in the corporate world, in whatever world. You're not going to see very many broke earth signs, especially Tauruses, okay? So this person did get into the relationship with you for the wrong reasons, but it's all good because there's nothing that this person took that you cannot replace. And don't think that being single for the moment is the worst thing in the world. It's not. Like I said, financially, you're going to acquire everything that was taken. Don't worry about that, okay? You're going to have enough to give not only to one person, but to two people. But what I recommend you do is you be your own merchant and your own beggar, because there's some areas that are still going to need healing, which is why temperance is here, okay? Temperance popped up on just about everybody's reading. I want you to look at the symbol on Temperance's chest. It is the symbol for the solar plexus chakra, which talks about your feelings and your emotions. I want you to know that this person did what they did because that's what they do. It had nothing to do with you. It just happened. The only thing that it had to do with you is that you didn't recognize that this person was doing what they were doing. But unless you're skeptical of everyone, you're never going to suspect that somebody's going to try to take you for a ride financially. That's what this person wanted to do, take you for a ride financially. And they were able to do it with their immature, thought process. And that probably doesn't feel any better. But the good thing is that you did cut them off. It did make you sad because this person's not all bad. I've said this on other readings. Even Hitler had a girlfriend. You understand what I'm saying? This person knew that this person had to be likable in some way, shape, or form in order for you to deal with them. And that's the part that you miss. But I want you to understand that was not the genuine person that they are. You don't even know who they are. You need to pamper yourself because there's a portion of you right now. There's a portion of you right now, and that's where the strength comes in. That's why the strength card popped up at the bottom of the deck. There's a portion of you right now, Taurus, where you need to be the merchant, your own merchant, and your own beggar. You need to acknowledge the part of yourself that needs your own help by recognizing what was it that allowed this person to step into your life to begin with. What area of yourself was vulnerable to this type of person so that it doesn't happen again. Spend enough time with yourself to assess the damage, because whenever you go through a tower moment, you need to assess the damage and rebuild the house. The house is you. And that is why strength is the card for the remainder of January, because I don't think that you're going to let this energy continue after February. I think you're going to go ahead and say, okay, I'm ready to go ahead and live it again, live my best life, and level up to the degree that I graduated to, which is the Emperor or the Empress, male or female. In every breakup, there is going to be sadness, of course, but when you get to that mature state, when you realize that the relationship that you were in is not doing you any justice, any justice whatsoever. There was no balance. No balance. And